Hey YouTube fans, welcome back to another episode of Then We Eat. On today's episode, we'll be making sex in a pan. We're going to start with our crust, and I'm going to use shortbread cookies that I've received as a gift. I'm going to use those as my base. So I'm going to put them in the food processor and chop them up with some butter, and that's going to be the base for our sex in the pan. So we're going to start with our base. So into our food processor, I've got about 13 ounces of cookies. Into the food processor goes. To that, I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of melted butter. You want to make sure that your cookies are finely chopped. You don't want big chunks in your dessert. Okay, so we're going to use this as the base for our pan. We're going to put it in the bottom of a greased 9x13 pan that can go in the oven. And once we've got it in the pan, we're going to bake it for 20 minutes at a 350-degree temperature. If you don't have the cookies, you can always use something else. My recipe calls for a cup of pecans chopped, a cup of flour, and 3 tablespoons of granulated sugar with a 1/4 cup of melted butter. Okay, so I have my pan. It's greased with some Pam. If you don't have Pam, you can always use butter. Just make sure you've got something in the bottom so that your crust can come out and doesn't stick. So let's add our crumb to our pan. I'm going to use my hands for this so that I can get it nice and even. You want to pat it down so that it's nice and tight. You want your crust to be able to hold together when you cut into it. So we're going to put this in the oven, a 350-degree oven for 20 minutes. We'll be back when this is cooked. This is a layered dessert, and it uses chocolate pudding, vanilla pudding, and a cream cheese mix. So while our crust is cooking, let's start making some pudding. We're going to move on to our vanilla pudding. I've got a bowl here. To our bowl, we're going to add the vanilla pudding. Now the directions on the vanilla pudding says to add 2 cups of cold milk. I'm only going to add 1.5. I want my pudding to be a little thicker. So we're going to add our 1.5 cups. I'm going to give that a mix for 2 minutes on low speed. So our pudding is done. We'll put that in the fridge. I'll go ahead and make the chocolate pudding, and we'll be back when it's time to make the cream cheese filling. Okay, so it's time to start on our cream cheese filling. To our bowl, I'm going to add 1 8-ounce container of cream cheese, softened, 1 cup of powdered sugar, also known as icing sugar, and 1 cup of Cool Whip. I'm going to give that a quick mix with our hand mixer. I'm going to start on very low. I don't want powdered sugar all over my kitchen. Make sure to get your cream cheese mixed with that icing sugar. You're going to want to stop and scrape down the sides and then continue mixing. And there's the cream cheese mixture done. We're just waiting for our pan to come out of the oven, and then we can start to combine everything. Stick around. Welcome back. Our crust is out of the oven. We're ready to start assembling our dessert. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to add our cream cheese filling to the top of our crust. And you want to spread it out nice and even. It may be a little hard to spread out, but just be patient, you'll get it. Okay, so we've got the cream cheese down. Next is the vanilla pudding. Again, you want to spread it out as evenly as you can. Your vanilla pudding should spread a lot easier than your cream cheese. Next level is our chocolate pudding. Again, you want to put it on as evenly as you can. Okay, and our last layer is going to be a whipped cream Cool Whip topping mixture. So I'll give it a whip up, and then we'll be back to put it on top of our dessert. So the last part of our dessert, we're going to whip up 1 cup of whipping cream. We're going to whip that up until it stiff peaks. It should take you about 2 or 3 minutes to get to this point. So you want your whipping cream to look like this. Nice firm peaks. To our whipping cream, we're going to add the rest of the Cool Whip, and we're just going to fold it in. Okay, change of plans. I'm going to give it a little mix with the mixer. Okay, that looks perfect. And our last step is just to add the whipped topping to the top of our dessert. Now this layer may look a little thin, but that's okay because you've got to put this in the fridge to cool down, and that will harden the whipping cream back up again. Let's get it nice and even. That looks good. Now we'll put this in the fridge for a few hours and we'll be back after it's chilled to try it. And welcome back. Our dessert has been chilling in the fridge for a couple hours. Now it's time to try it. As you can see, you really can't see the layers because everything's kind of blended together. My top layer didn't harden quite as much as it should have, but I'm sure it's still going to be good anyway. Let's try it. Very good. You got the chocolate pudding, the vanilla pudding, the cream cheese filling. It's all very good. Oh, and the whipped topping on top just makes it just perfect. This is really good. I mean, how bad can sex in a pan be? Well, thanks for watching. Hit the like button if you liked the video. Share with all your friends. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And comment down below. Did you like the video? Or better yet, what would you like to see us make next? And don't forget, first we cook, then we eat.